So obviously with Netflix kind of taking everyone by storm, we're all kind of in speculation as to what our favorite characters should go into, movies or Netflix. So I thought I'd start us off with one of my favorite characters, Moon Knight. And I thought he'd be great in Netflix. You could honestly do so much more with him there and kind of delve into his story more. Kind of be a mix of like Punisher and Daredevil in one, but it have its own unique spin with obviously with his kind of issues he has with him personally. So I think you could kind of start off the series with Mark Spector as a mercenary working for his later arch enemy Bushman. And you could kind of start off like this genocide in a village in Egypt, much like the original comic did, and kind of what turns Mark Spector against Bushman is that Bushman kills an innocent man in front of him for no reason and just kind of goes insane. So then you could have Mark Spector maybe try and kill Bushman or betray him in a way, which would lead to Bushman and his kind of like little crew he has to kill Mark Spector and drop him in the middle of the desert. And then that would kind of lead itself into Mark Spector maybe not fully dying but almost half dead, and he crawls to a temple he sees, well, kind of like a pyramid, and inside that pyramid he could find a statue of Khonshu, or Khonshu, however you want to pronounce it. I'm pretty sure it's Khonshu. Let's just go with that. So he finds that, and before he dies, he kind of has like this vision, and like the statue is talking to him. And then after that, he may have like a heart attack or a panic attack where he kind of dies. But then you could go to like maybe 2 days later, and he wakes up, and he's still in the temple, but these kind of villagers found him, and they drag him back to there, and after this, you could just have him go back to New York and kind of be done with that whole part of his story. And in New York, I do think you could focus a lot more on his schizophrenia. Like, just have it a quick kind of like Incredible Hulk scene, his origin, and then delve into his personality, because it is a big part of him. You could have him, you could show how he's a cab driver, and then how he's just like playboy millionaire, and then he's Moon Knight. And the thing is, like, not even like Batman, it's not a secret identity. Like, he literally believes he is these different individuals. When he is the cab driver, he is that guy. Like, they're totally different people. I mean, this guy has some issues with him. His schizophrenia is literally just really advanced in a way that's almost nerve-wracking and kind of scary sometimes. So you could really focus on that. After this, you could kind of have him go into a proto suit, much like Daredevil, but I do think that 2014 series of Moon Knight, where he just kind of has a mask and a moon on it, and the kind of white suit, or it could be like something else, like a white sweater, whatever you want to have it. But something like that I think would be cool as a proto suit. Have him go around like that, and you can explain the moon on his head by the visions of Khonshu, and with the schizophrenia, you could kind of have him talking to Khonshu still. Like, it never went away, just that stuck with him. So now he's kind of really obsessed with this god. So I do think after that, you could just kind of have him do his little adventures, have his interrogations, stopping crime like that, and just kind of how he goes through life with his schizophrenia and his relationship with people. And even you could have a Frenchie in this and kind of have him like being like the Alfred to this guy, taking care of him and making sure he doesn't do anything too stupid. So after this, I do think by the mid-season, you kind of should, like at least by episode 5 or 6, kind of bring in that there's this bigger organization to all these villains he's been stopping. He notices a pattern, kind of like Kingpin, but more to do with smuggling and just no reason, just killing people just for the fun of it. Because Bushman is insane, so you could have this big secret organization of criminals be led by Bushman, and that's kind of how he would come back to into Mark's life, which would probably set him over the edge and kind of really bring out the crazy in him. So I think that'd be good. And also by the mid-season, I think you could have, maybe by episode 7, have him get his actual Moon Knight costume. Because this guy is rich, he's not like Daredevil or anything, he can afford all these things, so if he wants a costume, I think Moon Knight would be the guy to just kind of do it, because he is that kind of mix of crazy and almost like he doesn't live in real life, so it makes sense he would want a costume. And it wouldn't have to be maybe the 616, it could go with like the 2014 costume, which honestly seems a lot more realistic as far as live action goes, so I think that would be great. So after that, you could kind of have him build more on how crazy he is, almost like Dexter in a way. Like where he is a good guy, he's stopping crime, but it gets to the point where he gets so brutal and so insane where you just kind of start questioning, like, is this guy even a good guy? Like this guy needs to take it easy. I mean, you know, like, he's kind of going too far, and he's really going too far with his methods. So, by, like, mid-season, you'd kind of be questioning your hero here. So, after that, just kind of have him do his thing, kind of go and try to interrogate people, trying to find out who Bushman is, or not who he is, but what's he doing in his city, and what does he want? So, I do think that by the end of the season, you really could do a lot with this. Maybe by the end, he's kind of on to Bushman, but Bushman knows this, so maybe he sets up like a fake crime in a building. Like maybe, oh, someone was captured. You could say, Frenchie has been captured. Like, your beloved friend is captured, and I'm going to kill him if you don't come here. So when he gets to the building, you could have like a big explosion to kind of slow Mark down, and you could kind of have Mark hurt here. And I think this would be a great example to show his almost obsessive religious side with Khonshu, like in the comics. You could have him hurt, and he'd be like, Khonshu, you know, like, why have you forsaken me? Why are you letting this happen to me? Like, I've been nothing but loyal to you, and you're really kind of fucking me over here. So you could have him kind of get in his car or a helicopter, whatever they're going to have for him here, maybe the mooncopter and all that. And he goes back to his apartment, and when he goes in, he sees it's really destroyed. And this is kind of like a slow build-up, like almost suspenseful. And maybe when he walks into the living room, you see Frenchie was never at the building, he's actually at home. And you can see on the walls, in like maybe writing in blood, Bushman broke into his apartment, and he's like, I don't even know what it'd say, but it's something to tease Mark Spector, like almost making fun of him, like, too late hero, or you know what you really are, or something like that, you know, like maybe you failed, and have Frenchie, I was kind of mixing those two names together. You could have Frenchie just kind of laying down on the ground dead, maybe like something really brutal, like stabbed to death, or pieces of him cut off, or maybe just shot, something simple. But something that would get his attention, something that would drive Mark over the edge. And I think that'd be a perfect way to end the series, honestly, like him walking in there, just everything started out good for him. He's doing this hero thing, but then by the end, maybe his relationship just kind of went to hell because of the way he is. And then Frenchie's dead. Everything he knows just has gone to complete shit. He has nothing left. And this will really set him over the edge, which is what I want to happen. Is like, he always has schizophrenia, but I really want it to get worse over the series to kind of just emphasize on it. Like maybe it starts out bad with him and the cab drivers, then it gets worse when he becomes Moon Knight. He becomes brutal. Then when he sees Frenchie dead, that really sets him over the edge and can eventually lead up to the story of him cutting off Bushman's face, maybe like at the end of season 2. So I think that could be a really good thing to end it with. Just kind of end it with Mark Spector like doing that famous Hugh Jackman scream, or really just being kind of pissed off or showing some emotion. Because Mark Spector isn't an emotional guy, and showing some emotion when Frenchie, his best friend, dies, I think would be great. Like a single tear or something. And as far as casting, I honestly think Carl Urban would be amazing as Moon Knight, Mark Spector. He is a big actor, but at the same time, he's one of those actors, much like Joseph Gordon-Levitt, where if the script is good, he'll do it. He doesn't care what it is. And Marvel honestly seems like the kind of company that would be able to grab him. And he does love the superhero stuff. We know he's been campaigning for Dredd 2 and all that. So I think he really would be up for it. And for Bushman, I think, I don't know his name. It's like Adewale. I'll just call him Akeem. He has played characters in G.I. Joe. He was in Thor: The Lost World, and he wasn't Lost. So I honestly think he would be a good fit for him. Just the way he acts, the roles he takes, and just kind of his look fits perfect for Bushman. He's not a big name actor per se, but he's enough to draw a name to it. So I think he would honestly be a great choice. But yeah, honestly, those are just my thoughts for the Netflix series. How I would kind of go about the stories and what would happen, and maybe how the series would end. Honestly, with Netflix and Marvel, we honestly don't know. They always surprise us, but it always ends up being pretty damn good. So let me know what your thoughts would be on Moon Knight for Netflix series. How would you go about it? Who would you cast? And kind of what story from the comics would you choose? But yeah, if you enjoyed my theory, make sure to leave a like, comment, and remember to share the video.